I'm confident in myself. Like, I'm not focusing on him. I just know what I can do, and I can't wait to show it. I'm not going to crumble. I'm solid. I've been through wars, and I'm still standing super strong.
Have you lost your mind? This is Anthony Joshua that you just called out. You're fighting Anthony Joshua in less than a month. Why are you doing this?
I like to challenge myself. I like to take on the biggest, the best. I said anyone, anytime, any place. I truly mean that.
Anthony Joshua issues a brutal warning to Jake Paul during their intense face-to-face, making it clear he's entering this fight with the mindset of a seasoned champion, not a celebrity chasing attention. Joshua says he's more confident than ever in his abilities, stressing that years of elite-level experience can't be faked or rushed. He explains that he's been training with world-class coaches, sharpening his fundamentals, tightening his combinations, and preparing for every angle Jake might try. To Joshua, this isn't just another matchup. It's a statement, and he intends to show Jake Paul the massive gap between a YouTuber turned boxer and a true heavyweight warrior.
With some of the greatest coaches and greatest fighters in the world, because I have that hunger, that desire. Every time I've been knocked down or been in trouble when I was younger, came back 3 years later, got to the Olympics, get in trouble again before the Olympics, 3 years later, become world champion after 16 fights, win all the belts, get beat by Ruiz, come back and unify the division for the second time. It's just constantly drives my focus and my hunger to get better. So
for Joshua, this fight marks a crucial comeback. The former two-time unified heavyweight champion and Olympic gold medalist hasn't stepped into the ring since his knockout loss to Daniel Dubois in September 2024. While announcing the bout, Joshua promised zero mercy, calling it a mega show and vowing to break the internet at Jake Paul's expense. Meanwhile, Paul, who holds a 12-1 record with 7 knockouts, mostly against smaller MMA fighters and journeymen, believes that beating Joshua would erase every doubt about his legitimacy. He argues that a victory here wouldn't just shock the world. It could open the path to an actual title shot.
Thank you for having me. Well, you gotta give credit to Jake and his team. They reached out to me, to be fair. And it was a great opportunity for me. So it's an opportunity for me to fight. I wanted to take 12 years out, or 12 months out the game, and I'd done that. And then it was time to get back to work. So I was planning on fighting anyway. And actually I would have been fighting this weekend if I had it my way. And this opportunity presented itself. And I said, yeah, why not? It's great. I think it's massive. It's colossal. It's making big news. We're bringing marketability together with ability. Those two worlds collide. You got Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. And we're here in Miami. We're bringing Europe, Africa, Asia, Nigeria, the whole world together to watch this show on Netflix.
The fight is surrounded by controversy, uncertainty, and heated debate. Critics argue that Joshua is risking major reputational damage by facing Paul, who many in the boxing world still refuse to view as a legitimate heavyweight threat. Veteran commentator and former champion Johnny Nelson noted that Joshua is stuck in a no-win scenario. If he dominates, people will say it was expected. But if the fight goes long or appears competitive, he could be accused of damaging his legacy.
Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua?
By far?
Yeah.
Too easy. Why did he take that fight?
I think he didn't have no opponents and he wanted to make Netflix happy, and I think he made a misstep. I think he was handling his career perfectly.
Yeah.
I think he would have beat Gervonta.
I think he would have beat Gervonta too.
But I think this is a big misstep. I think he let his ego get in from him and let the fans decide.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on.
Ryan Garcia reflects on the potentially life-changing impact a loss could have on Jake Paul. He stresses that Joshua's power is nothing to take lightly, and a defeat could affect Paul not only physically, but also in terms of reputation and long-term career direction. Garcia notes that the experience itself could be transformative, underscoring the massive challenge Paul is stepping into. He emphasizes that Joshua's punching strength and technical skill make this a true test, and the consequences of failure are real. For Paul, disciplined training, sharp preparation, and full awareness are essential to manage the risks Joshua presents.
I think that this has been a misstep from Jake. I think he wanted to make his partners at Netflix a little too happy, and he's gonna walk into it. But like, look it, he loses to AJ. Where does he go from here? Who does he fight? You gonna go back down to 135?
The problem is not that he loses to AJ. The problem is the way he's gonna lose to AJ might be life changing.
Right.
So that's the real issue.
It could be life changing in many ways, right? Physically.
Yeah.
See what he did in Nagano?
Adding to the concern, former champion and pundit George Groves suggested the fight would look fixed unless Joshua destroys Paul immediately. Groves argued that anything short of a rapid knockout, especially within the first 30 seconds or early in round 1, would spark instant suspicion among fans.
Jake Paul still trying to convince people that he's a legitimate boxer. He's not a legitimate boxer. You've picked someone who was a professional boxer, whose dad was a legend of professional boxing. You might as well pick someone from Love Island or something. He does make a mockery of boxing. He wants to fight a welterweight, then a heavyweight, then it's a featherweight. And ultimately, what he wants to do is not have a real fight. I think he genuinely believes he's a boxer. He's not fighting any current boxer.
On the other hand, Joshua's team is fully expecting a fast and devastating finish. Eddie Hearn has confidently predicted that Paul will be wiped out within 4 rounds, insisting that once Joshua lands a clean shot to the chin, the fight ends instantly. Hearn has positioned the matchup as an important step for Joshua to rebuild his profile and move toward an even larger showdown in 2026, potentially against Tyson Fury. Once again, the spotlight is shifting back toward true elite heavyweight competition.
AJ versus Jake Paul. Not gonna lie, did not ever see this happening, like ever. So were you just as surprised when he agreed to do it as the world was?
Yeah, I mean, I had to deal with obviously knowing that it might happen, and then the contract coming through signed by Jake Paul, and I sort of looked at it, I was like, oh my God, he's done it. So yeah, look, I have to give him credit. I do think he's crazy. I think he's got absolutely no chance. I think he's going to get smashed to pieces.
Do you think Jake's crazy?
Yeah, I mean, totally. I mean, listen, for us, we received an offer that was massive money and a really easy fight. We were talking about fighting this week here in an 8-round fight. Now we're fighting in an 8-round fight for 40 times more money against Jake Paul. So I love the opportunity for AJ on so many levels. I think it's a straightforward fight, massive profile, and especially in the US. So we can go back into 2026, all guns blazing with Turki Al-Sheikh, and the plans to hopefully fight Tyson Fury. But in the meantime, we get to wrap our hands, go out there, build the profile a little bit, smash up Jake Paul, make a fortune, and on we go. So yeah, for us,
For this matchup, Joshua will be using smaller 10-ounce gloves. The change is designed to enhance the spectacle, making the fight more appealing to viewers and media while slightly controlling punch impact. Even with the reduced padding, analysts stress that Paul remains at serious risk. Joshua's power is legendary, and the smaller gloves could increase the chance of knockouts. While the adjustment is technical, it does nothing to close the gap in strength, skill, or experience between the fighters, meaning every punch Joshua lands carries potentially serious consequences for Paul throughout the bout.